What happens when an executive from United Artists decides to give the Airplane treatment, which is a spoof, to a slasher genre?
80 minutes of my life I'll never get back, but I fall in love with redheads.
Find out next on Trees in Space. Welcome, everyone. And in case you missed the thumbnail, this week we watched the horror spoof Pandemonium from 1982. Most of you probably weren't alive then. I don't think my LP was alive then.
I was not.
I am Jason.
Me too.
And I am with Nate. And we watched this wonderful movie. And Nate said that it was his favorite movie he's seen so far that day.
By far the greatest movie I've seen ever in 80 minutes. It felt like a very long 80 minutes.
Did it feel like a long 80 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't short at all. It seriously felt like I was watching it for almost an hour and 45.
Well, I'll get into why I picked this movie here in a second, but first let's tell the people what this movie's about. And before I do, I said do. Before I do that, please leave us a like, comment, subscribe. Feed the algorithm monster as he gets hungry, and it helps us know what you want to see. Because if you don't like it, we don't want to produce it for you. So, and follow us on Facebook, and on Twitter, and on TikTok, and on Instagram, and on Twitch, and on 4channel. And we don't have most of those, but when we do, we'll get it.
That's it.
What was that?
We're only on TikTok.
Okay, well, my point is, just follow us, damn it. So what the movie's about is this. Bambi, who during her teen years was the lone survivor of a murderous attack on a group of cheerleaders, now runs her own cheerleading camp just for the attacks to start again. Remember, it's a spoof.
Oh my god, this movie may have just dropped a stump.
Because of Bambi?
Because you mentioned she was a lone survivor in her teen years?
Yes.
I understand this movie was made in 82, but she looks exactly the same. There's no way teen Bambi was 18. She was definitely 30.
The whole time. The whole time
she's been 30. Like, there's no getting around the fact that she is 30. Why did they have to get rid of Judd Hirsch?
Reinhold?
Yeah, Judge Reinhold. Him and that stupid Colgate blonde were my favorite two characters. I loved the chemistry between them. It worked. It did.
It was the best thing about the movie, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul Reuben, Pee Wee Herman, stole every scene he was in, if you ask me.
He was fantastic. Though I question how the RCMP was there to save the day, and like, they're in America. Why is the Royal Canadian...
the Canadian Mountie
there? Zero.
Tell me that. Tell me that wasn't great because he never could say it right. The Mountie guy could never call himself the right thing.
Oh no, I didn't even notice.
He was like the Mountie Canadian man. He would say it wrong every time. And instead of saying about, he'd say out.
Yep. That was like the only thing he would say that was remotely Canadian.
Canadian, yes. They were just, it's like I said to you before you watched it, it's a very Airplane type movie. The comedy's the same.
No, Airplane is a far superior movie.
I didn't say it wasn't a far superior movie. I'm saying the comedy's the same. It's like, okay, like for instance, when the old lady goes in the hallway, the gypsy or whatever says, "You are afraid of the dark," and the guy goes, "Baloney," and she goes,
Afraid of baloney?
You're afraid of baloney? That's very airplane-ish.
No, that's like...
Yes, it is. I can't tell you. You can tell me. I'm a doctor. See? What's a hospital? It's a big building with patients in it. See, it's very airplane-ish.
They're just better jokes. Like,
oh, yes, they are better in Airplane.
So, I guess, to me, it's like Little League World Series versus the World Series. Like, yes,
I will agree.
Like, it's hard hit. Like, they're hitting for it. They should be, like, it's just not there.
They were, yes, the jokes weren't as
they just had a B squad do it. Like,
well, I think what it is because Airplane did it very well because everyone played their part straight, like it's a serious movie, and the writing was funny. This one, I think they were playing it like it was supposed to be funny, and that was the difference. Carole Kane, the one I don't understand the red eyes and what power she has.
Oh, it's because it all started when she started taking the pill.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. She's a ginger. Of course, she's got ice powers. That's what they.
Oh, is that why you're in love with gingers again? Because of her?
Yeah.
She
is an unattractive attractive.
She's not somebody you would think, okay, a beauty, okay, this is who's going to get all the dates. But she's someone that if you ran to in a bookstore or something and she said hi to you, you're going to say hi back and hope that conversation continues.
She's very unconventionally attractive.
Yes, just like us. So, so what did you think about the different methods in which these characters all got killed? What was your favorite? Do you remember any of them?
The milk scene was hot when she was getting dunked in milk, and like at first I was like, why the hell is she bathing?
Dipping her cookies in the milk.
Yeah, like this is disgusting, and this is just weird. But then when she gets like milk boarded, like that was hot. Like that was actually kind of sexy. Like, but like the whole thing was kind of hot. So that would be my favorite death scene. Now, the one that I'm glad stopped was when she was brushing her teeth, the blonde. All that toothpaste made me gag because I don't like brushing my teeth in general. I will purposely avoid brushing my teeth. Like, I just don't like doing it. I know I have to, and I will because I'm supposed to, and it's good for me, but
she loved it. Mr. Tooth Decay, Mr. Bad Cavity, whatever.
That was kind of hot too.
She was pretty hot because that was the one death I remembered outside the names. I remembered the toothpaste death. I don't remember how the rest of them died. That's the one part I remembered. I'm 8, 9 years old watching this movie.
Yeah.
That's all that stuck in my head. And you know why. And even now, just watching it 2 days ago, I can't remember anyone's death.
Oh, no? So...
I remember what's his name shooting off into space.
Yeah, so the first one was in space, and then there were 2 that got pom-poms shoved in their mouths. There was the toothpaste, there was the drowning in milk, and...
That was funny.
I can't remember how the most unattractive one, who was the most attractive one.
Oh, the one that was sleeping with the other guy, and
yeah, she got
what they yelling to?
Spike into her abdomen.
Yes.
Yep.
And then the girl's like, "What's going on there?" Well, here's another question for you about the movie.
Oh, and then the bad guys got electrocuted.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Even though they weren't bad guys. It was an entirely different movie.
Yeah, that's... Wait. No, wait.
No, it's the same movie.
It's a movie, yeah. It was... those 2 killers. The psycho and the murderer from the jail. They got electrocuted with the doctor.
They weren't the ones killing the cheerleaders.
No, they were... it was like a very... confusing smush up with that. I don't know what that was about.
Like, I don't understand that point.
They needed to add 20 minutes to the movie to make it runtime.
They just needed to add a spin.
Yeah, something to twist you up, even though they killed them off relatively early.
Right, and then you're like, who's the... And if anybody was paying attention, you knew one of them wasn't the killer because he was wearing neoprene gloves. With the fingers cut off, and the killer had those knit cotton or like the knit gloves with the fingers cut off. So I already knew that one of them wasn't the killer because of the gloves.
Right. Okay.
I did like the jail pickup scene at the beginning of the movie. And he's like, "Oh, I'm from the asylum." Clearly. Like, that was funny. The beginning of the movie was funny, and I was hoping it was going to be similar to Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Oh yeah.
But
it wasn't.
No, that would have been a way better movie.
It was like a lot of short skits, Saturday night skits thrown together, basically.
Yeah.
So it was probably just too long for what it was. I really enjoyed the out of nowhere love affair between the 18-year-old girl and what has to be a 40-year-old county Mountie, and they could sing like they're opera stars.
Oh, and the redhead is the only one that gets laid. Well, and the guy.
Yeah, she never got laid before. That was the thing.
Right. But in the movie, she's the only one that had sex. Her and that one guy. So.
And she's the only one that lived.
Yep.
And I don't she killed the bad guy because on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
By using her powers of telekinesis. It was a very muddled mess of weirdness.
Yeah.
But I really just had to have you enjoy something watch something that I grew up with that I cannot remember. I probably picked the wrong movie.
Well, Jason, why don't we see what the critics and the audience said?
Okay, so what is written down here on Rotten Tomatoes? Scored at 75%. The audience scored this at 92%. But that is not the actual case, because those are numbers I just threw on there. That's not right. Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes did not have a score. And the audience scored this at 45%, which is a lot higher than I really expected it to be.
You know, that is a very generous rating.
Yeah. It is. So, but yeah, it's 0 and 45%. Also, the 5-star and 1-star reviews. There are absolutely none on Rotten Tomatoes, so I had to pull these from IMDb.
IMDb?
Oh, that same place too. Yes, my IED. So the first one is Fantasia I. A stellar cast, well-written dialogue and jokes, hilarious sight gags, so visual effects, but all around well-made for what this movie is. Not the level of Student Bodies, but I highly recommend this one for any fan of spoofs.
I really thought you were going to pick Student Bodies. That's what I was hoping for. And
have you seen Student Bodies?
I have.
Oh.
I think I saw parts of it. Maybe Snow was had us watch it, or Heather's, one of the two.
Well, they both had take place in high school, so yeah. I mean, we're not done. I'm not dead yet, so who knows?
There's time. Ted Macklemore said it had potential but failed. The production obviously involved effort and even care. Almost nothing seems to click in ways that are genuine parody. The silliness is simply silly. The overall look of the film is ugly. Well, sir.
What the? Hey, how about the horse? Because there was a real horse and a fake horse. They think they did a good job on the fake horse.
They did. It was clearly a fake horse, but I really appreciated that they used a fake horse.
Yes, I mean, you can tell sometimes it was a real horse, but more times than not, it was not. And I think they did an excellent job there with Mr. Smothers. For those that don't know, the Smothers brothers, he was the stupid, funny guy of the two of the comedian act, and his brother was the straight guy. So, as in
Smothers Brothers.
Abbott and Costello.
I thought Smothers Brothers was like jam and jellies. That's
Smuckers. That's Smuckers.
Smuckers. And what's the other one?
The Smother brothers.
Smothers Brothers.
They're a comedy act. And one's the straight guy, and one's the dork, and he's the dork, as you can tell.
I thought it was great.
The last 5-star review. Chris Tart. Okay. Pandemonium is an excellent spoof of the slasher films that got too numerous to count. Carole Kane, that's the redhead, is wonderful as the girl who's finally going to get to use my diaphragm. Paul Rubens could hardly be better.
I agree with those comments.
I do too. I think you're right. Yeah, I love Carole Kane.
Mr. Six, remember Airplane? Well, someone must have seen Airplane and thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool to make a spoof of slasher movies? I'd like to strangle the person who told him it was a good idea. Watch Student Bodies instead.
I didn't read some of these I posted up there. I think we're gonna have to watch Student Bodies at some point. It's been said twice now.
Yeah, it might have to be on the other program if we ever figure that out.
What's the F? WTF. Wow, that's funny. From Gangster Octopus. What's better than this movie? A dozen French fried dolphin abortions.
It's got to be a 3-star, right?
I guess I will go with what I think first. Now, pulling my bias out of this, I went with the whole LP motto of humor, heroics, heart, hard-on, hairiness, and wholesomeness, even though it's a W. This had none of that. They did have a hero. But I did enjoy it back when I was 8 or 10, which understandably so. And I thought it was very Airplane-esque. Even with Airplane, I wouldn't give Airplane a 5 trees. So, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a tree and a stump.
I want to say that I enjoyed parts of this movie.
You obviously did.
It had this
You like the milk bath.
It had moments in which it was okay. It never really reached good to me. It was just okay. It took me a while to watch it. It felt like it took forever. I am going to give it a tree.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But what's that last question we always ask each other?
Would you recommend this to your surgeon?
I would not recommend this to my surgeon. Not because I think it's a bad movie, but because I'm afraid he would see it and think, this man does not need to be alive. How about you? Would you recommend it to your surgeon?
I'd recommend it to my sturgeon.
Did I say sturgeon?
No, I said sturgeon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not one. Okay, well, I guess that's the end for Pandemonium, and that's the end of this show. Thank you for watching us. Please give us a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and follow us on TikTok, on YouTube, and all the other social medias that we do not have. Please feed the algorithm, and we'll be back here next Monday, the next episode of Trees in Space.